Boom, Chanka lads and lasses, how's it going everybody? It's the Flying Pig here on Flying Pig United with another daily edition of all the Manchester United latest news, guys. Just give you a rundown of what's going on during this transfer window. Hope you're all having a good one tonight. How are you all doing? Get in there. Yes, hashtag Glazers out. Absolutely, peeps. But yeah, good to see you all, guys. Hopefully, let me know if I'm coming through loud and clear. Hopefully I am. But good to see you all, guys. Hopefully some good news on the horizon, my friends. We're going to get into it all. But yes, lots to talk about tonight, my friends. Lots to talk about. So, the Jadon Sancho saga. Hello there, Griffo Chaz. How you doing? Everybody who's in here, Lee Cameron, Rush Mono, Aaron Homeyard, Rajon, Johnny Gallagher, everybody, thank you very much for stopping by. Hit the thumbs up button at the start of this video and get your thoughts and opinions in as we go along. But so Jadon Sancho is building a little bit of steam in terms of his move to Manchester United. It's all over the papers today, you know, Sky Sports, everywhere reporting Jadon Sancho, Manchester United, most realistic destination for Borussia Dortmund forward. That Manchester United, the big headline really today is that United are in talks or remain in talks with Jadon Sancho's representatives. And as it stands, we provide the most realistic destination for Jadon Sancho to be transferred to this summer for various reasons. You know, we need him probably more than a lot of the other teams in the league may need him. Okay, you could see Chelsea sniffing around him. There's even a link to Liverpool. I think they've dismissed that now. But, you know, hopefully we are the main destination for Jadon Sancho that he's realistically considering this summer. It would take another, you know, late bid for somebody else to come in now and try and prize him away from us. I wouldn't rule it out, but it just looks like Jadon Sancho. You know, I wasn't really that convinced about it last summer. You know, you know my thoughts on it, guys, as it was going on. I thought it was a bit too much money involved. I didn't think that the United's board were prepared to pay the money. Dortmund seemed pretty firm on their stance last summer, and they didn't actually budge on it. It seemed, and United weren't prepared to meet that, and it wasn't a figure that could actually be agreed. This some of those different. Sancho's contract's running out a little bit. It's you know, it's a pandemic. Obviously, everybody's feeling the effects of that. So the overall transfer fee that we're talking about here is not the 120 million that they were previously talking about last summer. No, it's more around the 80 million pound mark. So United are looking to invest this summer. There's lots of reports here. There's one from Rob Dawson today from ESPN reporting that Manchester United have a plan this summer, and that plan is to have a net spend of up to 150 million pounds this summer. So a net spend. So we may be looking at selling a few players as well, you know, selling a few players and generating some cash in those terms. But yes, we're looking to invest this summer, and rightfully so we should. Work is being done on the recruitment for a striker, a winger, defensive midfielder, centre-back, and a right-back. These are the latest the reports anyway that are out there. So obviously United have to invest this summer because we've been a little bit disappointed with that Europa League bottle up. I think if we didn't have a Swedish melt at the back there and Victor Lindelof, we might have been better off. We need to invest, definitely get a centre-back. Definitely get a right winger, a central defensive midfielder, and I think we'll be a much better team for it. So yeah, it stands to reason that we go and do that this summer, my friends. Okay then, so hang on a second. Let me just make sure this is all working here. I think we're coming through okay, right, guys? Yeah, thank you very much. Okay, get in there, my son. Great to see you all in here. Eldon Mike says Sancho is coming. Sancho is coming, the mighty Jadon Sancho. Fantastic player, brilliant stats this season. Looked like he was going to join us at the end of last window before United bottled out and saved the money and went for the cheap option in Cavani. Cavani proved to be a great sign. I'm glad he's here. And he's going to do a good job for a season or two. But yeah, Sancho's one for now and one for the future. The guy's like 20. He's still an absolute boss. He's got years of development ahead of him. It's fantastic. Hello there, Red Devil 9387. He says, Sancho, good deal plus Varane. Exactly, my friend. Sancho and Varane coming into the side would just improve us overnight pretty much, you know, markedly, I would say. We'd have a big improvement if we had a centre-back like Varane in there. We'd have a big improvement if we had somebody like Sancho, who is putting up the sort of numbers he's putting up in the Bundes. I doubt he would because the Prem's just harder, but his potential, his abilities are all there to be seen, guys. He's a quality player, great attacking player. He's going to create and get you goals. The guy's a machine, really. It's your boy Liam Vincent Bullock. Hello, guys. Welcome in. Thank you, everyone, for getting in here. Absolutely. Rush Mano says the 9th of June window opens for the Premier League. Absolutely, guys. So plenty of movement now. Obviously, there's the Euros coming up, but there's going to be plenty of movement. I would imagine if I'm Manchester United recruitment team and Solskjaer, I would want to get these guys in as soon as possible. To be fair, I know there's the Euros this summer, so maybe there's no real benefit to getting them in any time before then. But in my opinion, it's good to get your deals done early. We can see there's other deals being done around Europe. It looks like, looks like Konate's agreed, or looks like Liverpool have agreed terms to sign Konate, which is a good signing for them. It is a good signing for them. He's a player that I would have considered, but there's other players ahead of Konate, in my opinion, that I think United should go and sign. A la Raphael Varane. He's a very good player. Jules Koundé. I really rate Jules Koundé. So I'm not too bothered about Konate going to Liverpool. He is a good signing for them, but I'm not too bothered about it. I'd rather go out there and get one of these guys that I just talked about, Raphael Varane, at his age, at his peak experience, with his winning history and everything. That's the sort of player that we need. We do need to just add in like a ready-made world-class player. It's all well and good going to get a couple of youngsters. I'm all for that. Improving the team and looking to the future. Jadon Sancho, in my opinion, is one of those youngsters that's just absolutely world level in terms of his age. But he's still not the best Jadon Sancho you're ever going to see. Give him 6 years until he's in his prime, and I'm sure he'll be a better all-round player then. So we want to get somebody who's already in that situation where they're proper boss in their peak of their powers, really. Bell says Jules Koundé. Okay, then, well, let's have a vote in the live chat then, guys. Get your picks in. So, centre-back option, you can only choose one. Who do we bring in this summer? So, there's Raphael Varane, there's Jules Koundé, there's Sven Botman is another link to Manchester United as well, who looks a good player. I don't know too much about him, but he's tall, left-footed, he's had a decent career up until now. He's young, 21. So, there's a few links that are there. Who else is there? Get your picks in, basically. Who would you like to take? For me, out of the three of them, I mean, it would be Raphael Varane. If it wasn't Varane, then it would be Jules Koundé. Ian Dawn says Koundé. Reese United says Varane. Shazad Ahmed says Varane or Botman. I haven't yet. Vincent Bullock actually made it. Scujo 1 says Varane. Kayam says Koundé. Varane says Vincent Bullock and Rajon. Well, yeah. Most people want to get that experienced in there. You're talking about an experienced winner. He is a great player. He is somebody that probably is coming to the best years of his career as well. For a defender, 28 to 33, that's the time you want to have them at your club. That's the time when they've got the most experience and the best mental, sort of the best head out there. That sounds a bit wrong, but you know what I mean. They've got the best head throughout their career because they've gained that experience throughout their careers. Most realistic is Botman, says Rushmano. Absolutely. Let me just tell you a little bit about Sven Botman for anybody who doesn't know about him, really. I mean, he's a Dutch player. He was born in the year 2000, which makes me feel ridiculously old because he's 21, dude. What the hell? And I was already 13 by that time. Messed up. He's a centre-back. He's left-footed. He currently plays for Lille. Obviously, Lille did well in the French Farmers League this season, didn't they? So you can't really argue with that. That's obviously a good indicator. They signed him for 1.7 million. Oh no, 7.2 million, I think, from Ajax under 21s. Which we all know about Ajax under 21s or Ajax's youth development system in general. Man, they do produce some fantastic talents. So he's one from there. Crikey, it's unbelievable how many good players come out of Ajax, really, or the Netherlands in general. So yeah, he is a realistic one because he's not really that much money. Probably somewhere in the region of 25 million you might be able to get him for, maybe a little bit more. But somebody who is very good for his age. He's a totally different player to Varane. Like we were just talking about, having somebody who's experienced. Raphael Varane would come in and just be that ready-made, in his peak player. This isn't Botman. Botman is 21. He could be good enough already, but ultimately, like I say, the defenders' best years are going to be in the latter part of their 20s and into their 30s because that's when they got the experience. So, yeah, it's not necessarily the signing that I would like to see out of all of them. I would rather Varane. I still think this is a good signing. If United and the Glazers and the owners and Woodward and co and the potatoes that run our fucking club had any ambition, then maybe they would go out there and get this kid as well as going to buy Raphael Varane, mate, just because it can't hurt. It's not like he's going to be any worse than that Swedish melt ball Victor Dwindloff, is it? By the way, no. So, yeah, I would definitely get him in there as well. I think he's a good option. There's a few other players as well that are great options. Let me know if there's anybody else that I've missed. Pau Torres, great vote there, there, Abdi Leibachs and also Jay Blood says Pau Torres showing potential against us. Very impressed with Pau Torres' performance against Manchester United that evening, that gash evening. Very, very impressed with him. Yeah, linked to Manchester United previously, the right age, right experience, international. It's exactly the sort of signing that United should be looking at as well. So if he was to come in, and he's obtainable in a way, because let's face it, even though we bloody lost to them in the Europa League final on penalties, even though we did lose to them, they're not a top club in Spain, are they? Villarreal. They finished 7th, and, you know, they're always going to be like that West Ham United or something like that. They're not top tier. So it should be pretty easy to actually prize a player like that away. It would have been easier if we'd have beaten them in Europa League final, of course. But yeah, Pau Torres is a really great shout. And actually, there's some reports today that I've seen here, guys, that suggest that Pau Torres is actually quite high on Solskjaer's list. Just simply, I'm just trying to find the source here, but yeah, just simply. Oh yeah, so Pau Torres become Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's #1 centre-back target this summer. There's other clubs that are looking at him. Real Madrid are looking at him as well. So obviously, with Madrid having a bit of movement in this window, there's going to be some signings you would think. But yeah, Pau Torres is a player that I would be interested in Manchester United signing, definitely. But basically, guys, it's not really that hard to see where United's problem area is. It is centre-back, and mainly it's the midfield as well. So it's mainly the centre-back and midfield position. Now, if we only got 2 signings, I would like those positions to be filled, even more so than Jadon Sancho, because we got Greenwood there, and Greenwood's only getting better. I see Greenwood as number 9 going forward, so I definitely think we should sign Sancho, don't get me wrong. But if we sign that centre-back, if we sign that CDM, like get quality players in there, that's just going to solve the biggest problems in our team. And it is a team, guys. It is a team. You can't just stick Sancho up there and expect all the problems at the back to be solved. So it doesn't take a scientist to realise we have to get a centre-back. There's a bunch out there that are available that are really good. All we have to do is go in there and dip in the window and buy them. So I hope that they get it done very, very soon. We're talking about Rafael Varane here. We're talking about Jules Koundé. We're talking about Sven Botman and Pau Torres. Any one of these guys, or 2 of these guys, is what we should be looking to bring in this window. So it's not good enough if we end the window having not address this problem like we have the last couple of windows. And people might be thinking right now, that's ridiculous and preposterous to think that United wouldn't sign a centre-back this window. Well, it was preposterous to think that we wouldn't sign one last window, but we bloody well didn't. But surely we will, yeah. I mean, surely we will. Hey, hello there, Neil Duffin. He says, sorry, Pig, I don't trust Ed Woodenhead with our transfer business every time a disaster. Yeah, and this guy's actually leaving soon, so his repercussions don't even necessarily mean all that much. He's going to be doing one come the end of the year anyway, and I don't know what his proviso or his job description is from the Glazers right now. What are they informing him to do? How do they want him to run this transfer window? Do they want us to actually spend and try and get us competitive out there on the pitch? Do we want to go and sign multiple players? Are we looking to sign bargains again just to try and make money or not lose any money? Are we looking to not spend any money in order to maybe look for a sale of the club or something? What is the Glazers' deal, man? They need to speak to the fans a little bit more, and Woodward and Co. need to speak to the fans a little bit more. What is our recruitment? What is our recruitment plan this summer, guys? It should be to go out there and strengthen centre-back, CDM, and right wing at the very, very least. And when I say strengthen, I mean get quality players in there. And if you can pick up a Max Aarons along the way to add some depth in other areas as well, that's exactly what you should do, my friends. Billy Ellingworth, how you doing there, Billy? Apart from 80 million on one pig. Oh, you mean Harry Maguire? Oh, or do you mean Jadon Sancho? Sorry, I'm confused. But either way, look, we've got some good options there at centre-back is the point I want to make. Players like Rafael Varane, they've got to be coming in here. And if they're not coming in, then it's just a complete failure of a window, dudes. Hang on, my phone's all completely gashed up here. What's going on? Weird. All right, never mind, don't worry. Don't worry, Pete. Something weird happened. My phone has just completely shat the bed. Don't worry about it. The YouTube app's just frozen up. I thought maybe my stream had finished, but we're all good. We're all good. Oh, fantastic. Thank you very much there, Griffo Chaz. Look at that. He's put an article on the website. I'm just going to pin that to the top. This is Griffo Chaz's rating. Why can't I pin this now? Griffo Chaz's rating. Guys, if you're not following the website daily, there's lots of articles and great information on the website, flyingpigunited.com. For your latest Manchester United news. I just pinned it to the top of the live chat there, so if you want to check it out, please do. Okay then, so plenty to get into then, my friends. So we've established that most people in the live chat here would like Rafael Varane. I agree with you because he's ready-made. But if we did end up with Pau Torres, I'd be happy with that. If we did end up with Botman as well as one of these other more experienced players, I'd be happy with that. Or Jules Koundé looks like a great talent and a great player as well. I'd be happy with that also. So United just need to get a centre-back this summer. Griffo Chat says, this is a big summer make or break for Solskjaer. Back the manager! Back the manager now, the shite owners of this football club, because they haven't done it in the last couple of minutes and they need to do it now. Yes, Safan, what's going on? It's a great toilet read, says Griffo Chaz. Absolutely, he's pinned it to the top of the live chat. Check that out. I will also be doing my own version of this. So this is Griffo's thoughts. I'm sure they're wrong, but this is my own. I'm just kidding, Griffo. These are. I will give you my own thoughts over this weekend as well. Like I said, there'll be a season awards and review, and just a general, and also a tier rating video like we did last season as well. To just give you my thoughts and opinions on how all the players have done this season. So that'll be coming over this weekend also. Rushminer says we got 40 likes. Nice one. Everyone hit that thumbs up button if you haven't done so already. Smash the like on the video. And also give it a share on social media if you can. That'll help us out a bunch and spread the word of the pig. Okay, next news then, dudes. Let's get on to the latest. So Jadon Sancho is looking likely that he's, that he's going to be basically priority number one this summer. It seems like, okay, we're going to sign Tom Heaton in the coming, that's going to be announced anytime soon, I would imagine. But Jadon Sancho might be the next person you see in after that, because the other areas of the team, there's still a lot of negotiation to be had there. You would think, okay, actually, that's foolish for me to say, because look how long this saga has dragged on. Last summer was an absolute shambles from our club in terms of trying to bring Jadon Sancho to the club. Terms agreed right at the start of the window. Jadon Sancho ill at the end of the window, in hiding, trying to, they're trying to save him, whatever, his head's gone, whatever it is. He's going to join Manchester United. We bottle out of it. It was an absolute saga and a shit show last summer transfer window. So we don't want to, I was going to say, surely we're going to get this done sooner rather than later in this window because we need to get our man. But this club, like Neil Duffin said, we don't have any faith in our recruitment team, people like Eddie Woodward, Matty Judge, these twats, to do the job that they should, which is to bring in quality players in a speedy, hasty time. If you look at like what Chelsea did last season, okay, maybe Chelsea didn't quite work out for them this season. Maybe they didn't have the right manager at the time. That's an argument, but whatever. Maybe these players are not as good as you thought over in the Bundesliga. But if you actually look who they signed and when they signed them in the window, that is fast, effective transfers, trying to get your man in there soon so you've got time for them to come in and settle in and have a pre-season and all that kind of thing, which we didn't do that at all. Solskjaer's having players come in last day of the bloody window and having to bed them in and having to get everyone's fitness up and that kind of thing late. That's never an ideal scenario. So they need to plan better for Solskjaer this summer and go out there and bring these players in early. I think Sancho's 65% coming to Manchester United now, my friends. Last window, I was 50-50, and it obviously turned out that he didn't, but I'm 65% sure this guy's coming. That is pretty good. Pretty good, 65. But the 35% is because of how incompetent our board are, and also how tight-fisted our owners are in terms of spending money right now in this sort of current climate with the pandemic and everything. They don't seem to want to. We were top of the league in January and they could have added players to us then to help us try and cement that place, but they didn't. They could have signed more in the summer too. Okay, I want to get onto this story then, my friends. So lots of reports coming out to say that Manchester United may be ready to make an ambitious move for Jan Oblak, my friends. That's right, Atletico Madrid goalkeeper Jan Oblak, to solve our number one issue here, my friends. Now, Dean Henderson has had a decent season, not really played that much. I'm not 100% convinced by him. Is he going to be one of the world's best? Don't know. He's like 25. Wouldn't he already be up there in that conversation playing regularly? If he was to be, I don't know. Is he another Richard Wright? I don't know. I'm just saying he could be good, but not great. Whereas David De Gea has proven, but he's had a little bit of a wobbler recently. That must have been a right kick in the ball back the other night. He's also had a couple of dodgy seasons, maybe not this season, that was okay, but last season was a bit rancid. And he's just doing a bit of a shit show, really, at United. And maybe it's time for a fresh start. He obviously had that horrible incident happen the other night, missing the penalty to dump us out of the cup. And maybe he's ready for a fresh start. Maybe Atletico Madrid would be the place he would like to go. They've just won the league. And also, he used to play for them. He's from there. Maybe it fits. if the shoe fits, my friend, and Jan Oblak is a great keeper, I would be, if we were going to lose out on David De Gea, I'm not 100% convinced that Henderson would be. I know people rate Henderson, guys. You all rate Henderson, I get it, but I rate him too. But I actually think De Gea's better. Whereas Jan Oblak, there's a good argument to say he's better than De Gea. So that's the sort of player that we should be looking to get if we are looking at improving upon that position. Now, what does that mean? Does it mean that we're going to have to sell both of our goalkeepers this window? Maybe, but it could just be a case of, I don't know, Henderson gets loaned out, David De Gea gets exchanged to Atletico Madrid, and we get Jan Oblak and give him a bit of money and that sort of thing, guys. It's entirely plausible. It's also not that likely because there's other areas of the team that we have to strengthen, of course. Excuse me, almost choked there. But yes, there's other areas of the team we have to strengthen, of course, which is paramount. But Jan Oblak's a great keeper. Oblak's a United fan, says Shazan Ahmed. De Gea needs a pay reduction. That's the issue with De Gea. He's on a huge amount of money. And that is another issue with selling him. Who's going to pay him that amount of money to pay for them? Rupert Meadows says, pick this as a stupid conversation. We don't need Oblak. We have more important positions to fill, and Henderson wants to be number one. I mean, it's not a stupid conversation because the goalkeeper position is all up in the air at Manchester United right now, Rupert. Is it going to be De Gea who goes this summer? We don't even know if Solskjaer's plans are to keep De Gea as his number one and maybe move on Henderson this summer. We don't know if Henderson, if a bid comes in, a decent bid for De Gea, he'd be free to leave, and maybe he would be up for leaving. Maybe he wants to leave. But we don't actually know. So to say this is a silly conversation, I mean, that's a bit silly in itself, Rupert, because these are all silly conversations in that case, you know what I mean? But Jan Oblak is a great keeper, man. And because of that Atletico link, because of the fact that, De Gea is maybe looking to get away this summer, or Henderson might be if De Gea is not, I don't know, who knows what the situation is. It is unlikely, like I just said before I read your comment out there, I did say, it's unlikely because there's other areas of the team that we need to strengthen more, but it's not completely irrelevant. So let's have a little vote in the live chat, guys. Who's your goalkeeper? Let's just say that deal was on the table. Let's just say it was on the table. Are we going for? Are we having Jan Oblak? Also, by the way, Donnarumma, I think, is going to leave, isn't he? Donnarumma's free this summer, so Donnarumma's also in the conversation. Let's stick him in the mix just for a laugh. So let's go with Jan Oblak, Donnarumma, Dean Henderson, or David De Gea. We've got 4 players there, guys. I want you to have a vote in the live chat. If you could see any one of those players lining up for Manchester United between the sticks at the start of next season, having been signed this summer by Potato Woody, who is going to be your goalkeeper, my friends? Get it in the live chat. Donnarumma, says Rupert Meadow. Donnarumma, says J Blood. Oblak, says Ian Dawn. Oblak, says Shazad. Oblak, says Reese. Donnarumma, says Eldon Mike. Hendo, says the Vutinator. De Gea, says Scujo. De Gea, says Donna, says Eldon. Oblak. Okay, so yeah, looks like most of you want Donnarumma or Oblak. G for United wants Oblak. Rajon wants De Gea. Gary wants De Gea. I can see Oblak actually, says Rushmano. It's not beyond the realms of possibility. I think it's one of those luxury signings that a club would make if they did have proper ambition and proper owners to try and challenge for the league. Like, it's not the necessity. Knowing our owners and knowing our board, they'll probably just go out there and sign a centre-back and a CDM and work on Sancho all summer long maybe, and maybe give him somebody in return and just maybe squeeze that one over the line too, but maybe not. So yeah, that's the more likely outcome. I very much doubt that they'll spend and sign these big money players. But look, like I said, De Gea might be up for moving in the opposite direction. They might be up for having David De Gea back at the club. I mean, why would they want to get somebody, why, if we're saying that maybe he's better, which is, it's actually a bit of a silly argument really, because De Gea has been faultless for us for a decade apart from one and a bit dodgy season. So, like, De Gea is more proven for us than anybody really, guys. But yeah, I like Oblak too, but I really like Donnarumma as well. Yeah, Rupert Meadows says Donnarumma, the Italians call him the next Buffon. Absolutely, yeah, because he's broke onto the scene at that early age. He is a great keeper as well, and he's still ridiculously young, and he probably will go on until he's bloody 40. So I think Donnarumma, if you could get him, he would be a fantastic player. But Reece United says Donnarumma is a Mino Raiola client, isn't he? Well, there you go then. In that case, the big guy says Henderson needs to leave to better his career. Yes, he does. If David De Gea is to remain at the club next season, if De Gea isn't sold this summer, if he doesn't move on, then Henderson should really look to move on. If David De Gea is Solskjaer's #1 goalkeeper, then what is Henderson really doing here? He's going to have to move on to better his career. So we will see something like that happen this summer, whether it be Henderson leaving or De Gea leaving. I would imagine one of them's going to leave. It just makes sense. They both want to be #1. Both of them cannot be #1. So one of them's going to have to move on to different pastures. Hello there, Dr. Stealth Hudson. How you doing tonight, dude? Neil Duffin says, until we stop paying obscene salaries, we might be able to sell players. De Gea, Martial, Matic examples. Yeah, Phil Jones. You know, the list goes on. Like, we pay players way too much compared to what they're actually worth and what other clubs would pay them. Even other top clubs. I mean, who in their right mind is paying Phil Jones over 100k a week, to be perfectly honest with you. And Jesse Lingard's wages were a lot as well. And I know he did well at West Ham, but we weren't getting good value for money before he went to West Ham. And we're basically just, you know, I don't know what the setup is there, but we're probably paying him a little bit to play for bloody West Ham. So, yeah, you're right, Neil. The wage structure is not great because we put players on inflated contracts and then they are impossible to sell because they're priced out of the market. The teams are priced out of the market because they can't afford to pay these ridiculous wages. And then people like Phil Jones don't want to go and better their career. You know, like Mikel Arteta, when he left Everton to go to Arsenal, I think he actually took like a 6k a week wage cut to go and play for Arsenal, seriously. Whereas, you know, I don't think you would see Phil Jones doing that. He's just happy rocking up in his pink Lambo to training and getting paid 6 figures and just, I'm a Man United player. I'm a Man United player. You know, he's just happy doing that. Whereas people with ambition, they would actually want to move on. Like Phil, if I was Phil Jones, I would be constantly knocking on Solskjaer's door, get me a move away, boss. This is ridiculous. I ain't played any games. Okay, he's injured or whatever. I think that's a load of bollocks. Anyway, he's literally getting somebody to break his limbs every single window to stop him going. It's a disgrace. Ugh. But even if he was available, and even if he was, this is the point I'm making, even if he was available, and even if he was on the transfer market, nobody's coming in for him because he's on ridiculous wages. So unless he wanted to take a pay cut and go and play for somebody else to actually play, which he should do if he had any ambition, it's not going to happen. 53 likes. Bacon Brigade, assemble! Hit that thumbs up button, lads and lasses, if you haven't done so. That'll give us a boost up there and help us compete with some of the other channels, etc. So smash the thumbs up and give it a share if you can. That'd be sick. Romero, 70 grand a week not to play. Lee Grant, 30 to not play. Lee Grant is crazy. I mean, the Romero one's good value when you consider what he used to do for us. Obviously, this season, you know, he wanted away though, but previously, you know, good backup keeper. Like 70k a week for somebody that is dependable as Fook when he comes in is actually pretty decent. But I know what you're saying now. It's like just money going to waste. And Lee Grant, I mean, what is that all about, dude? What was that Lee Grant signing all about? I mean, we've never bloody seen the guy. We've seen the guy holding up a bloody scoreboard, dude. What is it all about? I don't get it. You might as well just have an 18-year-old goalkeeper as your bloody fourth choice or whatnot. You know, why is Lee Grant even... I don't really understand it, but hey, there you go. The net Giggs says 100 million is not enough for United. At least 4 players needed. Yeah, it looks like 150 million it will be the sort of the net spend. I mean, it really does depend also on who goes out of the club this summer, because if there's a bid that comes for De Gea, well, there's 300k a week off the books, and you might get some money. Thank you, Ben Bello, for subscribing to the channel. Hit the subscribe button if you're new, peeps. Yeah, so there's Pogba as well. Pogba, De Gea, these guys, their future's kind of up in the air, really. Pogba might sign a new contract at Manchester United, but he also might leave this summer. It might be a case of him being transferred to Juventus or Real Madrid or PSG, or who knows. If a bid comes in, if a manager wants him and a team's prepared to spend the money and a £75 million bid comes in, and Solskjaer goes, you know what? Yeah, he's good, but he's not really done that all that much for me. Maybe I could take that 75 million and reinvest that and go and buy a Jadon Sancho or go and buy this type of player with it. Then you just might see it happen. So actually, we could see a couple of players go out, which would maybe finance more deals. So yeah, it depends really how much Solskjaer's got as a war chest to begin with, but he might have to get a couple of players out in order to get more players in. Tony Marshall should leave this summer, says Ben. I mean, yeah, it's a tough one, Tony, isn't it? He's a tough one. He's not really okay. Get your votes in on that one. Tony, stay or go. Tony Martial, for me, maybe it's a time to move on. I would be trying to look at maybe getting some sort of transfer of, some sort of exchange deal on the go here, because he is a good player. He's a player that you can sort of bargain with in terms of look, Jadon Sancho. Here's Tony Martial. He's fucking mint. Enjoy. He's just not quite doing it for us where we need right now. But then, what about Tony Martial just backing up the team for depth? Great teams need depth. If we've got Rashford on the left-hand side, if he's our first choice, and he's been a bit ropey, but if he's our first choice, then it would be great to have Martial there deputising. Same goes for the right side, same goes for the striker. Having Tony there to play in any of those positions is a good thing. He's just not first team starter for me because Cavani's better. I think Greenwood's better on the right. I do think Rashford's better on the left, even though he's been a bit Gashford. So Tony's going to have to sort of play that utility role if he wants to stay at the club this season, if he wants to play. He's not going to be that number 9 starter in the team, nor should he be, in my opinion, because he's not proven in that position. His movement and stuff's just nowhere near the level of a Cavani. We've got Cavani now. Cavani's proven. Cavani sort of forced his way into that starting position in the team. And Martial's fell by the wayside because of that. Martial's a good player, guys. He really is a good player, and maybe he could challenge Rashford for a position, starting position out there on the left-hand side. It's always good to have depth, and if you don't have the depth, then what have you got? If Rashford gets a knock, if Rashford gets an injury, if we let Martial go, then Dan James is coming in to fill in, and Dan James is okay, but he's not great. He's no Martial. He's no Tony Martial. Trust me. So great teams have great depth, and if we want to be a great team, we do need great depth. So do you know what? Actually, I'm going to change my mind. Unless we were to sign another striker as well as Sancho or something, I don't think we should get rid of Tony Martial this summer. I'm just going to say it now. So let's have a look at the live chat, see what you guys said. I'm going to say it now. Go Martial, cash in, says Rushmano. Stay, says Aaron Homeyard. Stay, says Jonathan Gallagher. Time to go, says G Wolf United. Go, says Bell. Tony, go, says Gaznion. Stay, says Rajon. Stay, Lynette. Stay, well, hello there. Okay, guys, well, I'm actually changing my opinion to stay. Honestly, the more I think about it, because we do need depth and quality in depth, and he could challenge Martial for a starting spot or Cavani for a number 9, I guess. Maybe he would be slightly halter in the progression of maybe Mason Greenwood, because especially if Sancho comes in. But yeah, great teams need great depth, and Tony Martial is a good player, man. And if we had him at the club, we'd be better off having him than not having him. Having him there to come in and fill in than not having him. So that's my opinion. But it does seem like Solskjaer maybe will go with James, Diallo. These guys are sort of young backups, but I don't know. Yeah, Bell691 says no depth means the shallow end pig, no diving. Oh no, you better tell that to some of these players from the continent, mate. Gary Finnegan says, why does Ollie keep saying we need a striker? We don't need one centre-back, and CDM are the most important positions, I think. Yeah, well, I guess we don't really need a striker, really. I mean, we do long-term because Cavani's not going to be here for that much longer. He is getting on. What are you going to get out of Cavani now? 2 seasons max? Probably 1. 2 seasons, I hope, though. You know, he's still good enough, and he'll probably still be good enough to his 35, 36. You know, but he is getting on. He is getting on, and Manchester United are going to have to look at getting somebody else in that position. Maybe Mason Greenwood could be that man, but maybe not. Stuart Stormtrooper Waller says, it's time to go. Fergie's son says, if Tony leaves, we must buy a replacement. Sorry, where's your comment gone, dude? If Tony leaves, sorry, I've missed it. If Tony leaves, we must buy a replacement. Damn it. Sorry, mate, I totally lost your comment there, dude. Well, how's that worked? Anyway, sorry about that, dude. But yes, if Tony needs a replacement, well, yeah, maybe it'd be more of a backup replacement. There's some link to Danny Ings and that kind of thing, but doesn't interest me. Nick Miller said, hello there. He has flashes, but a lot of times he looks lethargic. Yeah, lethargic, disinterested, lets his head go sometimes, gets frustrated out there. And you know what? Just doesn't look all that good all that often, to be honest with you. He is great sometimes. Sometimes he's unplayable, but it's another one of those players at United where it's a problem with consistency. You see the same with Pogba, Rashford to a degree, you know, the centre backs. There's always consistency issues with certain players, and what you want is players that are more often than not turning up for you. Ben White from Brighton, decent centre back, says Ian Stewardson. Yeah, I'll tell you who I would like from Brighton, Bissouma. I really do rate Bissouma, and he's young, and he's good. If you look at the stats, they don't lie. He's a good player, and he's cheap and available. Now, if it does turn out that we're signing Sancho and we're signing Varane, well, that's big money invested. Maybe they're going to have to look at signing some cheaper options. Well, Bissouma would be a good option for me because he's not a lot of money and he's a good player. So, yeah, I'm not saying he's a world beater, but I think that would be a good option for us. Definitely could make us, improved in the midfield in the defensive role because we're struggling there, man. G-Wolf comments, the only time Marcio got depth is where he gets moth diving and don't get anywhere. Oh my goodness me. Vutinator says Mason and Cavani fighting for the number 9. Then Mason takes over. I like that, the Vutinator. Yes, deputising for Cavani, learning from Cavani, and being the new Mason Cavani. I agree with you. Rush Mano, thank you for the £5 super chat, you Don. He says, problem with Tony is next season we are getting a top striker. He will leave then. Yes, good call, good call, good call. Unless he makes the left-hand side of the pitch his own. Because I actually do think that's his best position. Now, is he better than Rashford there? Not necessarily, but who knows, man? Maybe he could step up and keep Rashi out the side sometimes. I don't know. That's why I'm saying sometimes it's good to have two players in that position. But yeah, you do make a good point. It looks like he wanted to be the number 9. He was given the number 9. It just didn't really work out there. Cavani came in, taking that away from him. He must be feeling a bit dodgy about it. And then if United go out there and sign another number 9 to actually be the main number 9 once Cavani's left, then yeah, he might well leave Rushmano. I could see it happening this summer, guys. He's on the list as well. So we've talked about Pogba, there's De Gea, there's a few players. Obviously, we're not going to talk about Mata and Matic and these guys, but players like the big money players who could be leaving. And he's definitely another one of them as well. Tony Martial might well be leaving this summer. It depends on what other business we do. If Sancho's coming in, there's going to be limited places up top for us. And if you look at all the players up there, I mean, Cavani's going to do bits for us for a season or two. Rashford is younger and better, in my opinion, even though the consistency's not been there from him either. And Greenwood's just an absolute prodigal son. He's going to be something completely special. You can see that already. Already, I'd rather select Greenwood on the pitch than Martial. That's where I'm at. So to me, Martial's just going to be that backup, so you may well leave this summer. Rushmano, thank you very much for the £5 super chat, dude. I appreciate you. Rushy says we got 68 likes. That's one away from my favourite number, dude. And also, we're nearly at 100 likes, so smash the thumbs up button if you're just getting in, guys. That'd be awesome of you. Yeah, nice. Varane isn't as great as you think. I spoke with my friend who's a Real Madrid fan, and he said that Varane is playing in flashes but not consistently good since he won the World Cup in 2008. Do you know what's funny? The last game of football that I watched of Rafael Varane, to be fair, or maybe not the last one actually, but one of the most recent ones, I can't remember the game of it now. What was it, guys? But he made 2 absolute fucking howlers and conceded 2 goals for his team, like proper Slabby Maguire-esque gash. Who remembers that game? I think we did a watch-along for it on the channel. I can't remember what game it was anyway. I've got such a gash memory. But anyway, one of the last games I watched, this was a while ago, but one of the last games I watched, he literally had the shittest game ever. Against Man City, was it? Yes. Against City. Yeah, okay, it was against City, yeah. So if you think, so if I'd have only watched that game and somebody said, hey, do you want Varane? I'd have gone, no. No, I don't. I absolutely do not. He's the French Slabbington. No thanks. But he is a good player, man. If you look at, consistent, I think he is consistent. I personally think he is consistent. I think that was all defenders are going to make, errors at some point in their career. It happens to the very, very best of them, guys. So, that was a shit show, and hopefully he got all of his errors out of the way for the season in that one. Oh, hello there, Jonathan Denton. What's going on? Everyone wants Varane because of FIFA's his brand. And yeah, let's get Varane and Mendy left back. Okay, I'm just going to get into the rest of the news, guys. Then we're going to delve into your comment section a little bit more. So, Yano Black linked to United as well. You never know. I mean, I very much doubt that that's on the agenda because there's other positions that we need to address. Tom Heaton set to arrive at Manchester United on a free transfer from Villa. That's imminent. Basically, to just give you the overall this is what I think Solskjaer's transfer list is this summer. Now, I'm not saying he's going to get all of these players. No, far from it. We'll just get 2 or 3, maybe 4 if we're lucky. But it seems like his transfer list, effectively, this summer would be, you've got Jadon Sancho, obviously, he's top of the list there. I mean, Harry Kane would be on the list, but it's not that realistic. Haaland would be on the list, but it's not that realistic. Grealish would be on the list as well. We've also got Jan Oblak on that list, Jules Koundé, Pau Torres, Varane, of course, Botman, that other centre-back we were discussing, Declan Rice from West Ham, of course, Declan Rice, Yves Bissouma, Max Aarons is another player that's linked on the list as well. I think, if you think about it, there's about 10 or 11 players I just said there. That's the shortlist, basically. It's a short list of players. Go out there, Eddie Woodward, you human fucking potato, and go and get some of these players for him. That is it. It's as simple as that, guys. There's a bunch of those players. See what you could do. Okay, you might not be able to get Kane and Haaland and these guys. We understand that. But you've got to go and get some of these other players to strengthen our team. So that's basically the shortlist, guys. If I missed anybody off the list, then you can put it in the live chat there. Okay, so it's understood David De Gea would be allowed to leave Manchester United. PSG, Juventus could be interested if the deal was right, but Atletico Madrid is the dream answer. Move back to Atletico would appeal to him if it is possible. So that's why the Yano Black link is there. Pau Torres may be one of Solskjaer's number one targets for centre-back. Varane actually spoke, so we're talking about centre-back position. Raphael Varane actually spoke ahead of the Euros for the France national team. Varane was asked about his future, and he said, this is not the time to talk about my future. I'm focused on the selection on this Euros. It's normal and logical to ask the question, and for my part, it is normal and logical to focus on the upcoming deadlines. We are all human beings. We can all think about it. As for my personal case, I'm focused on the objectives that we have in the France team. It is not a subject that I would discuss every day in my room at Clairefontaine. I am focused on my goal, and now it's time to discuss it. If I have to talk about it, it will be directly with people concerned. So he's keeping his cards pretty close to his chest there. He's not said, oh, yeah, I'm up for joining Manchester United, or, oh, yes, United would be a great team. I'd like to join. He's just basically said, yeah, no comment. So not that interesting there, but it's just worth mentioning. He's talking about it. It's a professional thing to say, though. The most likely thing is that he's leaving. Okay, this is Jan-Arne Fjortoft. This is Haaland. This is a quote from Erling Haaland. He says, Borussia Dortmund say I'm 100% staying this summer. I have a contract with Borussia Dortmund, so I'll be respectful. Champions League spot secured was so important to me. I want to play UCL football, and I have big dreams. So Haaland may or may not be leaving this one. It depends if these big money offers come in. He might stay another year at Dortmund yet. Who knows? Liverpool senior club sources have dismissed talk that they're trying to prize Jadon Sancho away from Borussia Dortmund. So it doesn't seem like Liverpool or Chelsea are sniffing around Sancho right now at this moment in time. David Alaba has joined Real Madrid from Bayern Munich, guys, a player that I wanted us to sign. We didn't even try and go for it. Maybe his heart was already set on joining Madrid. It seemed like it. But, if we were really ambitious as a football club, we could have gone and got him. 28 years of age, versatile, would have been a great signing. 28, won it all. Would have been a great signing, but we bottled it again there. But anyway, he signed for them on a free transfer as well. That's more of a reason why we should have gone and got him, because he was free on a 5-year deal. Unfortunately, United, with our owners, we just don't have that power to compete in the window because they don't choose to. It's a disgrace. So yes, they've signed Alaba, guys. What a great signing that is. I'm pissed off about that, dudes. I really am pissed off about that one. That our club doesn't even bother to try and go and get a player like that. It's somebody that could definitely improve us, man. I bet you Varane. I bet you we don't get Varane as well. I bet you we sign Botman instead. And don't get me wrong, he's probably decent, but come on. Let's have some bloody ambition. Let's have some bloody ambition from the board. And also, like I mentioned earlier, Liverpool Football Club have reached an agreement for the transfer of Ibrahima Konate from RB Leipzig, 22-year-old centre-back. Maybe a bit of injury concerns here and there, but I think that's a good signing for them. Okay then. And also reports coming out today that Pogba is recently looking at properties in Manchester. So maybe looking to stay. Maybe it's just down to his portfolio. Who knows? But, it's a little bit of a teaser there for you. Fantastic. Okay, I've just got a couple of updates here from Matty the Rushmeister, I think, here. Oh, sorry, no, I just read that one. Actually, I just read that one. My bad. Matty Rushmeister, absolute legend, by the way. Keeping me up to date with the latest and greatest stuff. And if you're not following Matty Rushmano on Twitter, you should do MatUnited20. And also his Twitter is transfers_UTD, transfers_UTD, to keep up to date with the latest stuff on Twitter there as well, my friend. Thank you very much, Matty Rushmano. Okay then, guys, I'm going to get into the comment section now. Have your say about anything we've discussed. You can ask me any questions. We'll do a bit of Q&A, or just get your thoughts and comments in about any of the players we've looked at. But it looks like it's going to be a busy window for United, both in terms of players going out. There'll be a few departures, I think, and in players coming in, hopefully. We need to spend at least 150, and then also more so if we can generate more by selling players. We need to spend a couple of $100 million this window and get our players that we need in, whether it's 3 or 4 players, centre-back, CDM, right winger, who knows, and then a bonus player. That would be fantastic. Gary Finnegan says, what if we buy a so-called big-name player and they end up being gash? Remember all the talk about Maguire? Yeah, it's a fair point. I mean, it can happen. It's always a gamble that you take. I mean, if you look at a player like Varane, though, it would be unlikely to say that he's not going to perform. The thing about Maguire is, yeah, I mean, he's obviously older when we signed him, but he only really sort of like burst onto the scene a bit later, really. You know, with Leicester City and then for England in the World Cup. He sort of, you know, it's not like he was a prodigy like a Rio Ferdinand or anything. He sort of come through a bit slower, and I don't know. I mean, he was a good player. You sort of buying him for his leadership qualities, for his, you know, at Leicester, at Leicester, and his how he was for England and everything. He was fantastic in that World Cup for England. He really was. I thought Maguire was a fantastic. He performed brilliantly in that World Cup for England. He did. Um, so you would think you were getting a good player. It was a gamble. He's not. Basically, what I'm saying is he wasn't as proven as a Raphael Varane at the time, even though, you know, we did spend that money on him when they think we're getting this great player. He wasn't as proven as a Raphael Varane, in my opinion. Although maybe you could argue he's more proven in the Premier League. Botman's Klaassen, Safwan M, also Pau, Koundé, and Varane. Thank you, Shazanama says, I agree, Piggy. Top lad. Thank you very much. Aaron Homeyard says, follow Matt Rush here. Yes, he's put the Twitter in there. Good man, Aaron Homeyard. That's the way to do it, son. Clubs busy buying early centre-backs for better integration, yet United still monitoring Liverpool, Madrid, etc. It's a disgrace, isn't it, Nanette Giggs? What a great comment from Nanette Giggs. Monitor FC, that's what we do. Liverpool have already got their centre-back signing coming in there, by the way. Now it looks like Konate, and as you say, Alaba signed for Real Madrid. They're getting their centre-back options early. City last season, they got Ruben Dias, they got Nathan Ake, these guys in there, addressed the issues, and look what happened. They're able to win the league. It's a disgrace that we are so slow in this. But look, obviously the window's opening soon. We'll see what United are like, if they can get these signings done early, which is exactly what we should do. But we all know what our board are like, guys, and it wouldn't surprise me if we drag it out right to the end of the window. Look at the last summer transfer window, guys. It was a disgrace. So yes, we did sign Donny early. That was a good signing. That all happened in the space of a few days. That was a weird signing by United standards. Very rare, really. That was a weird one. But then you look at all the other signings, we're literally like bending Porto over a freaking ironing board here to get a few extra pounds off for ages trying to sign Alex Telles. And then we're also doing the same with Borussia Dortmund. And in the end, we don't even sign him. We don't even sign Sancho from Borussia Dortmund. We just signed Cavani last day of the bloody window. So you look at how we operate in the window. We don't get our business done early. We aren't good in the transfer window. We don't have competent people in charge who can get the players recruited early doors so they can think about the pre-season we had last year, guys. We started the season crap. You know why we started the season crap? Because we didn't have a good pre-season. We had a crap pre-season. We didn't get players in early. We didn't allow players to bed in and settle in and get used to their surroundings and teammates and the system and the tactics and get any sort of understanding with the rest of the team whatsoever. You're just thrown in there at the start of the season. So Solskjaer, you know, whoever's in charge of all of that, it wasn't great in terms of the preseason, but the actual recruitment didn't make it good at all because they all came in really late. It's a joke. Zidane in, Ollie out, Zidane in, says Danny Martinez. Well, I wouldn't. You know, I don't know about that. Zidane his achievements. You can't really argue with that, but he's just done it at the Real Madrid there. Not proven at other clubs. It's a bit of a gamble going for Zidane, I think. Yeah, he could do great, or he could be absolutely melt-worthy. You just don't know. What I like about Ollie is he understands and knows this club. And he's also progressed this club, and I'm not going to get into this Ollie debate. You know how I discussed it yesterday. You know my thoughts on Ollie. I think he's done a great job. And I do think that he's the right man to take us forward. And if we can get the right players in this summer transfer window, then we will be competitive next year. Yeah, it's a good shout, Danny. He says, get Jack Grealish and Rice. Call it a day, maybe a striker. Well, we need to get a centre-back in, don't we? But yeah, those couple of players you wouldn't say no to, definitely. Fellaini was the last player signed quickly, says Nick Millisev. Oh, my goodness me. Donny van der Beek was Van der Sar. He made the deal for us. Yeah, you're right about that, Rushmore. You're right. If it wasn't for Van der Sar there, that one would have probably been stretched out the whole bloody summer as well, if not ever happening. Zidane's going to PSG, says Shazad Ahmed. Yeah, so it does look like there's some basis behind Pochettino maybe going back to Spurs. You could see Zidane at PSG. That's an interesting one, Shazad Ahmed. Zidane as a shit coach came second in their rivals, same Ollie. Well, that's a bit harsh, G-Wolf. How many Champions Leagues Zidane got, dude? But yes, Dr. Hudson says Zidane isn't even a good manager, Sadie. I mean, I think that's harsh. I do think that's harsh. Okay, maybe you can argue I've got Ronaldo and these guys back, you know, but and Bale and all these great players, but I don't know. Come on. He's not a terrible manager. He did a good job for Real Madrid. I know that. Not this season. But remember, Fergie finished third a couple of times, guys. You know, it's not going to happen for you every single year. Alex Ferguson is considered the greatest manager of all time. He didn't win it every year, guys. I'm going to tell you that much. He really didn't. What, about 50% of the time? It's hard to win the Premier League. It's hard to win any league. Rushmano, we've got 82 likes, have we? Like Spike. How many people are watching right now? Let's have a look. Hey, guys, thanks for getting in here, though. Really enjoy doing these transfer videos and chatting and discussing and hearing all your thoughts on the United fan base. That's what these streams are for. Just basically to give you all the latest Manchester United news in a no bullshit way. Just so you know what's going on, really. We do this every night at 9. And also, we're going to be bringing back the afternoon updates as well to cover all the daily news. So that's all coming. But yeah, 93 you legends in it, 81 likes. Hit that thumbs up button if you haven't done so. And let's get this one to Uno 100, my friend. Okay, brilliant. David Srinivas and Marquinhos should be the man we should be aiming for. Good signing, good signing, good signing. Thank you, Eddie O2. How are you tonight? He says, you can be a bad manager if you win 3 Champions Leagues in a row, in my opinion. Sorry, you mean you can't be a bad manager if you win 3 Champions Leagues in a row? Or you still can be a bad manager even if you... I'm sorry, I'm confused with that one, Eddie. Did you mean you can't or you can? You said you can. You can be a bad manager if you win 3 Champions Leagues in a row. I mean, I wouldn't have thought you could be, to be honest. Anyway, Rosh Mano with a £5 super chat. Thank you so much, Roshi. He says, Glazers must back Ollie. If they don't, the Glazers out movement will only worsen for them. They have no choice. Yeah, it seems like it. You're right. The Glazers out movement is already pretty, it's pretty in full flow, to be fair, but it could get even more hostile for them if they had a really quiet window. If they don't back Ollie, then yeah, I think the fan base will just lose their shit. I certainly would. I certainly will lose my shit if they don't really fully back Ollie this window and fully invest in the team. Now's the time. Now's the time to try and appease the fans. We're always going to hate you, but at least get us winning titles, and then then we'll talk. Wow, what a Worcester's VCR. Well, hopefully 150 to 200 million we'll spend this summer. We'll see. Yeah, I thought you meant can't, Eddie. I didn't think you meant can't, mate, because that's what I was. That's my point. If you win a few Champions Leagues in a row, how can you really be a shit manager? Okay, you might have had a great team, but still, doesn't mean you're guaranteed to win it. But I agree, Shazana, and I agree, Eddie. Yeah. Billion time behind Ollie, says Jonathan. What's that? Billion times behind Ollie. Have we even have ownership in the jersey, says Jonathan Gallagher? I don't know what you mean, Jonathan Gallagher. Rushmano says, subscribe to the channel. Absolutely, guys. If it's your first time here, we do these transfer updates every single day. Smash that subscribe and get involved. Click the bell icon to be notified when we do a stream, so you get a notification on whatever device you're on. Click that bell icon like your name was Quasimodo. Esmeralda the Bills! Lynette comments, meeting with Joel next week, the 4th. Hope they will back Ollie and reason with the fans. Lynette Gates, absolutely, yeah. They need to back Ollie this summer. I think it's just a matter of time before you hear of the Sancho signing, to be fair, because they want to take some of the heat off. Unless they're going to sell up, they have to sign players this summer. It's as simple as that. Like Rushmano said, the fans will be properly on them unless they do have a good window and do fully back Ollie, like they haven't done in the last couple of windows. If they do it, then at the very least, we'll all be content that we've made them or forced them to sort of reinvest in it. What is big, what's sort of majorly concerning, and is a big problem, is other aspects of the team. Because yeah, they can actually, like, if you want to look at what they've spent on players on the face of it since Woodward's been in charge here, it's like they spent a lot of money on players. It hasn't been spent well, but it's easy to just spend money on players and then completely just neglect other areas of the team, like the stadium or the facilities or the recruitment or the youth. You can easily neglect other areas of the team, which is what I think they've done over the years. Carl Chiagoro and Alex Walker subscribe to the channel. Thank you very much, dudes, for subscribing to the channel. I appreciate you. Yeah, and also Macaulay19, get in there, Macaulay19. Appreciate you getting in there, dude. Thank you very much for subscribing. But they've neglected other areas of the team. The stadium's gash, it's not up to the standard that it should be, really, for a club like Manchester United now. Okay, maybe in 30 years ago it's state of the art, but right now it's not. So Manchester United have to look at improving all areas of the team. The owners have to be prepared to invest in all areas of the team, not just out there on the pitch. That is very important. And us fans, of course, we want to see these great players play. We want to be challenging for titles. But they have to run the club properly elsewhere. That's my biggest concern. And that's why I think even if they did spend a couple 100 million and sign all the players we're talking about, they still deserve to get out of the club, because they're ultimately still going to try and siphon money out of the club. They're not going to invest and fully improve this team like they should. You can't stop fans getting buying merch, says Jonathan Gallagher. This is one of the things that really annoys me about it right now is the merch conversation. Nobody should be buying any merch right now. I know we love the club, and okay, you might want a shirt with Cavani on it, but nobody should. It's basically just it's making what they do seem acceptable. You know, it's not. We need to protest any which way you can. That is one way you can protest, is by not buying their merch. Hit them in the pocket a little bit here. We don't want the club to lose money. We want the money to be invested in the team, the players. That's why we buy the merch. That's why you buy the subscriptions. You pay the MUTV and all these things, because you're happy to pay that, because it's going towards your club. It's going to the running of your club. It's going to the transfers. It's ultimately going, but if that's not actually coming out the other side, then don't do it, guys. Don't do it. Don't do it. I don't do it. I haven't been subscribed to MUTV for a while. I also haven't bought any Manchester United merch for quite a while now. And I won't until probably we've got new owners, to be perfectly honest with you, or they miraculously just have a turnaround and run the club properly, but I doubt it. G-Will says, Pig, please read my statement. Okay, let's have a look. G-Will says, these Ollie outers get on my goat. Don't know nothing about football. Sir Alex Ferguson hasn't done nothing for 4 to 5 seasons and still became the greatest manager. Back Ollie, you will see greatness, trust. I like your style there, G-Wolf. Yeah, I mean, maybe some of them know something about football, but no, fair enough. It's a bit of a blanket statement, but I like your style, G-Wolf. Look, Sir Alex, there's a great point you've made there. If United didn't win that FA Cup, then Sir Fergie would have been sacked, and then we wouldn't have won the league. Then we wouldn't have won all the league titles and all the success that came after it. He probably would have been sacked. You know, like how that game the other night came down to one penalty kick from David De Gea. Well, that could be the difference between getting a trophy, making your season, and not. And that's exactly what would have happened with Fergie in the FA Cup final if we hadn't got the win. Like, he could have been sacked, and then we'd have had no successful period. But because he'd actually built great foundations at the club, it's just like a tipping point, You're trying to, you're far away, you keep working towards something, you keep working towards something, you dig in, and then suddenly you hit that pot of gold, and that's what happened with Fergie at United. He was so tremendous at doing that, but it takes time. You've got to do the digging. You have to put in the work. You've got to move that turf, you've got to move that soil, you've got to get in there and dig to get to that pot of gold, my friend. And until you do, you can't expect to just put the spade in, take one little bit of turf out, and then the pot of gold to be right there. No, you got to put some work in, my friends. Nice one, G-Wolf United. Fans aren't patient this day. This is the real problem, Shazan. Yeah, and I particularly think the younger generation of fans are even less patient, because they don't necessarily remember Solskjaer, or they don't understand necessarily what this club should be all about. We should be looking at doing things a little bit differently to the likes of Chelsea and City and these guys. We're a different traditional club. Thank you, Jonathan Dennett says, my pot of gold is watching you, Pig. Thank you so much, dude. I appreciate that one. Lynette says, seasons come and go, generations change, technology comes and fans change. Fergie was lucky. I can't say Fergie was lucky, because Fergie, or maybe lucky that he got all that time, because in the modern era, he wouldn't have got 4 or 5 years to be able to have that time. But Fergie was a genius, to be fair. Like, Fergie his recruitment was brilliant. His, his motivation, his ability to get the best out of players, second to none. So I don't think he was lucky personally. Safwan M says, Oblak's not the priority, but him, Sancho, Varane, and Dennis Zakaria, we're sorted. Maybe Haaland, but never going to happen. Yeah, good comment. Good players on that list. Oblak not the priority, but if David De Gea's going, or if there's a possibility of an exchange or some sort of deal bringing Oblak in, it could make sense. I like the Donnarumma link myself. If Donnarumma's available for free, I'd sign Donnarumma and just sell off David De Gea, to be honest with you, and Henderson, no disrespect. Henderson, sorry, I shouldn't say that. David De Gea's been a great player. Oh, just sell off David like he ain't nothing. No. Part ways with David. David's been a great player. Let's get some love hearts in there for David. I feel so bad for David De Gea, man. He's had such a great career at United, been our best player for a decade, and everybody's pissed off with him right now. I mean, I'm not. I mean, I kind of am. but I'm not. You know, I'm not. Let's get some love on in there for him. He's been a brilliant player for United. We need to remember him. If he is to leave this summer, we need to remember him as a great player, as a player of the season multiple times. That's what we need to remember him as. Not somebody that melted a penalty, you know. That's just redundant. In the Europa League anyway. Who cares about the Mickey Mouse crap? Oh, thank you for the love hearts for Davide there, my friends. I'd love to see that. Love to see that. Great stuff. All right then, guys. So I'm just going to stick around for a couple more minutes. Get your last couple of comments in if you would like. 14 likes away from 100 likes. If you haven't hit the thumbs up button, smash the like on it. Let's see if we can get to 100 likes on the stream. We've got to get to 100 likes. Don't we? Anyway, yeah. I'll be back with FIFA a little bit later as well, dude. So do get involved with that if you're around. I'll be getting going at, don't know, about 11:30-ish on the channel. We'll be doing a FIFA stream, so do come by and watch that if you're around. Mason says David De Gea isn't in the chat, Pig. Hey, how do you know that? He could be watching right now, dude, you know. That's a bit of a, you know, you don't know. David's my mate. He tunes in sometimes. Sometimes DMs me saying I'm watching Pig, you know. First thing someone wants is not pissed with him, but like Jesse, we can't be sentimental about it. True, but it's not like he's like Jesse. Jesse's not good enough and he's proven not good enough. De Gea's had a good season, apart from a couple of dodgy moments. Thank you, Schnick, there for subscribing, dude, to the channel. Apart from a couple of dodgy moments, he's had generally a good season, you know. Eddie says, I'm sure smart people have said that the game should never have got to pens to be depending on a keeper. That's a mad scapegoat. What a crazy scapegoat. You're right. Yeah, you're so right. It shouldn't have never got to that stage. You know, I blame Ole Gunnar Solskjaer way more than I do David De Gea, and I blame Lindelof. I blame, you know, even Bruno and Rashi and these guys more than David, to be honest, in my mind. David obviously dropped the ball in that semi-final, in that penalty shootout, in the penalty shootout, not semi-final, in the penalty shootout, and didn't save any, and also just sort of shot the bed with his shot. But yeah, it shouldn't have even got to that. Make sure to get Hossamoir, says Tracy Stewart Paver. Yeah, that would be a good signing as well. That would be a good signing. Red Devils Gaming says, Yo, Pig, 7 Desperados down. I'm a bit wavy. Oh, crikey, that is quite a good amount. Desperado, mate. A cheeky little beer with a bit of tequila in. Nice. And Poisonous Nut says, you give more money to FIFA City Brits. Brits. Everybody does. Rush Milo, thanks for that. Says, subscribe to the channel. All right then, guys. Nice one. I'm going to wrap this video up there. Do us a favor, hit that thumbs up and subscribe, and also come back in a few minutes' time, have your say. If you want to continue the debate, get it in the comment section afterwards. Bell says he's terrible at set pieces and not as good a stopper as he once was. I mean, I think he's a great stopper. He's not a great penalty stopper, no. He's a great stopper, and he's not great at coming from, he's not great at set pieces. He's also not great at sweeping up. You know, he's a single-faceted keeper. In the same sense, like, I don't know if Pep Guardiola would use him, for instance. You know, like when Pep came in at City and got rid of Joe Hart because Joe Hart wasn't a sweeper keeper. It might be a good shot stopper. Before Pep came, Joe Hart was a great keeper for City, really, wasn't he? But he didn't want him. He didn't like his style. He wanted somebody who could a bit better with their feet, who could sweep up, distribute a bit better from the back. And so David's probably more in the Joe Hart mold, to be honest with you. He's better than Joe Hart, obviously, but he's more in that mold of a goalkeeper. De Gea done nothing wrong this season, just unfortunate with his penalty. Agreed, Lynette. Yeah, agreed. Ollie, outfield players should be smashing the final. Agreed, Eddie Ota. Yeah, if players like Bruno and Rashi turned up and played to their abilities, the best of their abilities, we would have won that game, but they just didn't. If you look at their stats, they were a shambles, to be fair. Individually, they're a shambles. Bruno's stats are, if you actually look at Bruno's stats, they're really bad. Completely invisible game from Bruno, man. What did you say about Sancho coming in late, bro? Just that United in talks with representatives for the signing of Jadon Sancho, and it's looking, you know, ever increasingly likely that he may well be coming to United. That's the main story. And we need to sign Varane, and Haaland says Red Devils game in. I don't want Sancho because it will affect Mason's game time. It's a fair comment as well. Yeah, maybe we'll hinder him. But maybe Greenwood might be pushed up into that number 9 deputy role for Cavani for a season or two. And then next thing you know, you've just got a great number 9 once Cavani retires or leaves. Ollie out, says Santiago. I disagree. Let's get some hashtag Ollie ins in the live chat, peeps. Definitely doing a Champions League watch along for the final tomorrow, says an Armado. Yep, definitely. Gary Finnegan says Ollie knew De Gea was bad at penos, so why didn't he take him off for Henderson, who's a bit better at penos? Ollie knew. Yeah, I know. Yeah, strange for that. Yeah, De Gea, I know. Why? Yeah, strange. You know what I did see as well? Somebody had taken a photo of some, you know, like some of the coaches' notes on the penalty penalty takers for Villarreal. Somebody snapped a photo of it, and David De Gea ignored the instructions on there like 3 times or something. So maybe he just felt like they were going to put it the other way, but literally said left and right, like where these players like to put their penalties in, and he went the other way, so he kind of had a bit of a mare, didn't he? Heaton Instagram says Mason M. Is he what's going on with Heaton's Instagram, mate? Has he already has he announced something? Heaton's left Villa. Oh, fantastic transfer update, guys. Get in there. Let's take a look at this. So Heaton has left Villa, has he, lads and lasses? Here we go. Here we go, Tom Heaton. Here we go, lads and lasses. We knew this was coming anyway, but Tom Heaton, here's a quote from his Insta. It says, "It has been an honour to play for Aston Villa Football Club. I would like to thank Dean and his management team, Christian and Johan. All of the staff and players at the football club have been brilliant." And then he's put hashtag, oh no, I don't know if he has put hashtag MUFC, actually, maybe he has. But either way, sorry, either way, Tom Heaton's left Villa. It looks like he's joining United. I'm not going to get super excited about this one. This is a backup keeper, that's all he is. He's not going to be coming in challenging Henderson or De Gea. De Gea or Henderson, one or both, if Oblak signs, but probably not. One of them will be leaving this summer. Heaton's coming in to be a backup. It's nothing to get excited about. But it is a here we go. No, it's not a here we go, actually. Sorry, I misread it. He's just left Villa. He's not announced that he's signed for United yet. There's no official confirmation yet, peeps. Sorry, my bad. But it looks like he's left Villa anyway, and he will be joining Manchester United. Okay, then. Danny Martinez with a $5 super chat here. Thank you, Danny. He says, in the past 4 seasons, we spent just as much as City. They have 10 trophies to show for it. We have 0. Ollie out. Oh, yeah, because Ollie's been in charge of the last 10 seasons, hasn't he, Danny Martinez? What a silly thing to say. Ollie's only been here for a couple of seasons, dude, and has got us 3rd and 2nd. Guess what the next progression is? 1st. You know what I mean? We progressed us every single year, dude. Danny Martinez, what are you talking about, mate? 10 trophies to show for it. Yeah, because they've spent a ridiculous amount of money and they've had a lot longer. Solskjaer's only just come in. He's had to mop up after people spending that money poorly and other managers managing the team poorly, to be fair, and leaving us in a bad situation. I could understand that statement if Ollie'd been here for those 10 years, but he hasn't, dude. No, Daniel. Disagree with you, mate. But thank you very much for getting your say there, Danny Martinez. Heaton just replacing Lee Grant. De Gea and Hendo won't leave, mark my words. You don't think either of them's leaving, says Red Devils Gaming. Interesting. Yes, I know, JB. He looked at Buzz for something else and found it in Booze. It's so sad. Yeah, George Best, what an unbelievable talent. It says past 4 season, pig. 4 season. What's that? Say that again. Don't know what you're talking about. Anyway, get in there, my son. I'm going to wrap this video up there, though, my friends. Thank you very much for tuning in. We'll be back in just over an hour on the channel doing the FIFA stream, so tune in at about 11:30ish. We'll be getting going there. And get your thoughts and opinions in after this video is finished. Come back in a few minutes. Have your say in the not live comments section. Hello there, Dave Whitford and Get Beamed. How you doing, Get Beamed? Amir Shah, please sack Ollie. No, Ollie's progressing the team. Exactly. Rush Mono says, would be nice that so-called United fans actually know what they're talking about. That's very true. But yeah, thank you, guys. Okay, I'm going to leave it there, guys. There's the latest transfer news for you. Looks like Sancho's deal is coming closer. United looking to have a 150+ million budget this season. Couple of players going out, maybe. There's talks of maybe De Gea, maybe Pogba, maybe Marcia, and of course players like Mata, Matic, etc. Their future's all in doubt. So we'll see who's going out this summer. And also Varane linked to Manchester United, Botman linked to Manchester United. There's a bunch of centre-backs, Jules Koundé, a couple of others, bunch of centre-back being linked to United because we need to sign that centre-back. So we've got to sign a centre-back in this window. That's for definite. All right, then, guys, have a great evening. Thank you very much for tuning into the stream. Hit that thumbs up button before you go. Subscribe if it's your first time here. Get your thoughts and opinions in after it's finished, and I'll catch you in the next one. If you want to follow us on social media, please do. You can follow us on Instagram at Flying Pig United. Twitter is Mr. Flying Pig HD. The website is flyingpigunited.com. And also the gaming channel is Flying Pig Gaming as well. So go and give us a follow over there, guys. Nice one, the big guy. Nice one, Lynette. Gungshi, your legend. How you doing there, Gungshi? Great to see you in here. Just catching us at the end. Gungshi, mate. Great to see you. I hope you're well, dude. Have a great evening. And yeah, we're just finishing up. But Gungshi, what a legend. G Wolf, I agree. Yeah. But actually, G-Wolf, don't say that, mate. Just let them have their say, dude. As a mod, you need to remain reasonably impartial here, my friend, G-Wolf. I keep telling you. I keep telling you, G-Wolf. Oh, Gungshi's been here a while. Sorry if I missed you, Gungshi. Sorry, man. Sorry. Great to see you, though, man. I hope you're good. Hope you haven't gorged yourself silly yet on that entire box of goodies. But there is another one incoming. So if you do, don't worry about it. See you later, G-Wolf. See you later, Dave, Gungshi, Eddie, Mutty Rushmano, Jonathan Gallagher, all the mods. Much love. Catch you tomorrow, guys, in terms of the Manchester United news. But I will be back in just over an hour for some FIFA Actione full smashing businessione. Let's go. See you on the next one, guys. This is the big. Take it easy and come on, United. Sort your freaking lives out. Let's sign some quality. Yes, Premont, hashtag Glazers out. Forget all this Ollie out nonsense. Hashtag Glazers out in the live chat. That's the real people we need to get out of our club. Glazers out, green and gold. Let's go. Yeah, just ignore it. Just ignore it, G-Wolf, mate. Yeah, Abdullah Irwan. Hello there, dude. Yeah, just wrapping up. Good to see you, Abdullah. Hope you're good today. Sancho, deadline day signing. I hope not, Jonathan, but you never know. Tony, deal, dumb pig. You what, Vincent? Anyway, right, guys, thanks for tuning in. This is the member rundown, just to say thank you to all the channel members, all these legends like Gungshi, G-Wolf, Rushmano, the Vutinator, Shazad Ahmed, Abdullah Irwan, all these guys in the live chat with the badges next to the names or the names in green. Much love to these legends who support the club, support this channel, I should say, by being a member. Rushmano says we got 100 likes. Nice one, everyone. Thanks for getting the like smashed on the video. That helps us out a bunch. It gives us a boost on the algorithm on YouTube if you help us out. So if you do like the show and want to support the show, that's one of the best ways you can do it, is by hitting the thumbs up. See you in an hour, peeps, for the FIFA stream. Much love to you guys for tuning in. Have a great night if you can't make it, but we'll be back giving you all the latest end of season award show tomorrow as well. So keep a lookout for on the channel. Bye, guys.